Good good evening, everybody. Welcome to the FearFans podcast. I'm your host, Don Elmy, and with me is my co-host, Nick Millet. And so, first off, hope everybody had a great Halloween celebration. Hope you guys enjoyed your parties, your trick-or-treating, or any other activities you've been partaking in.
And
And
also happy, oh, sorry, I was going to say, and also don't forget, happy All Saints Day and tomorrow, All Souls Day, which I think we're starting to realize tomorrow is the last official day of the Halloween season before we start getting into Thanksgiving, of course.
yeah, that's right. And so we decided after we had to take a bit of a hiatus due to some scheduling conflicts, but I'm glad to be back into this. And so, yeah, we decided to look into what I consider to be my eighth favorite horror film, The Evil Dead.
Groovy.
Classic. So, yeah, The Evil Dead was released in 1981 and was. Oh, hello, Billy. Okay, thank you for joining us. Yes. Here, you know what? Let me open the comment section so I can keep it. So, like,
yeah, there's just Billy so far. The audience is starting to grow.
Okay, great.
Give it some time.
I just wanted to have that open for like any more comments that come up.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, thank you, Billy, for joining us. And so yeah, Evil Dead. First saw this film when I was 10 years old, and I know that a lot of people have a hard time believing that, but yep, it's true. But yeah, did I ever tell you how I first saw this film, Nick?
You told me, I think, once, but remind me again.
Okay, it was 2002. Oh, hello, Nick Ulrich. Thank you for joining us. Yep. So it was 2002. I was 10 years old, and my oldest sister, Kristen, rented the film from Blockbuster for a sleepover. I think she had to have been about 15 at the time. And I felt that, looking back at it now, it's kind of strange, though, because she never was a horror fan. I'm guessing one of her friends was, but I guess she just randomly rented a scary movie. But anyway, so she rented it for the sleepover. The very next day, I noticed that they haven't returned it yet, so I snuck it and saw the whole thing. God. Yep, I snuck it, and then I saw the whole thing and was not terrified of it, as I normally am with horror films. Normally, I'm not terrified of horror films, but yeah, I just saw the whole thing and enjoyed it. Like, really loved it. Brian, thank you for joining us. And
remember Blockbuster? My God, those were the days.
Oh yeah. That Blockbuster started going in the heavy decline, like right when I first started going to college back in WKU. Yeah, right when I was there, like Netflix pretty much took over.
You know, I'm just gonna say this, Don. The fact that you saw that at such a young age, younger than when I first saw it, I'm just gonna say this. Regardless of how anyone else, including your parents, think, you did well. you did. You had a very special childhood, even if it wasn't considered age appropriate. You did well. I'm proud of you.
Like a lot of people, like there are some people out there who say the movie's rated R, but actually I don't think it really has like a rating. It was like I think NC-17. Yeah,
because it was so violent, and it also was one of those movies I think out in the UK became known as a video nasty, where it was literally banned because of its violence. So be careful what you wish for.
Yeah,
it's already that wish he had, Nick's. It already happened years ago, and this is a good thing.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just gonna say for the record, I can't say I recommend this for every 10-year-old, but I was different from every 10-year-old.
You were different, so was I.
Yeah, but so yeah, this was directed by Sam Raimi, and this was his first major film. Yeah, this is what brought him from the ground up in the cinema in the world of cinema. And he went on to make a huge career after this film with the Evil Dead sequels, Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn, and Army of Darkness, and then the Evil Dead, the franchise kept going on and on, like the TV series, and now there's a new film coming out, Evil Dead Rise, which they actually, now that I think of it, they actually released a picture.
Oh, really? I was going to say, don't forget also the somewhat sort of sequel / remake of 2000. Oh, wow!
Yep, that's awesome. One of the Deadites. Yep, that's one of the Deadites.
That's awesome. let's not also one other thing I should also mention too is is this Jeremy? Is that you? It's got to be Jeremy.
I think it's Jeremy. Yeah. So anyway, that's the photo of one of the Deadites that's going to be shown. That's depicted in the film. And I'm a fan of the TV series. Yeah. Oh yes, I just got to watch the final season. Like I know it's been released a while back, but I got to get caught up on it because
me too.
Yeah. Nice picture. Yes, it is. They definitely did a good job with the makeup effects on this.
The other thing too is that one other thing I should just throw out quickly for Sam Raimi is that, of course, not only just the Evil Dead trilogy, also worked on the Spider. Yeah, it's men. You're not on Facebook. It's me. You're not on the Facebook page.
Here,
check your settings.
I just did. Here, I think. Yeah, I don't know. It didn't go.
Oh, that's why. Okay, I was wondering why we weren't getting anyone from Facebook. That's bizarre.
Yeah, that was weird.
I've never seen that before.
Okay. It says it's live on that end, and it says it's live from my end.
I see checks on all the platforms, so that means we're running.
Excellent. Okay, problem solved. Anyway, so
thanks,
yeah,
Jeremy.
you were talking about Sam Raimi. Sam Raimi, he made a name for himself, not even only in horror, but with Marvel as well. Because in 2002 is when he began directing the Spider-Man trilogy, which went on until 2007. Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man. So
that's what I was about to bring up. He also did the Spider-Man trilogy, and he also most recently, of course. Oh, hey Tom, good to see you. He's on Tom McNicholas. I know Tom Malley, Pickle Tom should be on soon. So
Hey, you were saying?
But no, another thing that, of course, he also recently worked on was the what am I thinking of? The new Doctor Strange. Yeah, which funny enough, Bruce Campbell makes a brief appearance in it, which is which pays homage to the Evil Dead movies too. Because of his character, what happens to him, and it's awesome. Now they're still continuing the tradition of those movies 40 years later.
Oh yeah, I mean, Bruce Campbell and Sam Raimi were high school friends, so they have a strong friendship. So of course they work together frequently. That's the thing. With like almost all of Sam Raimi's movies, like Bruce Campbell makes an appearance, like as a cameo or a background character. That's always a thing with him. Like in Spider-Man, he played like, I think the announcer in the wrestling in the wrestling ring that Peter was in, like right before he officially became a superhero. Yeah,
and then he was also one of the other Spider-Man movies where he was kind of like a chaperone or something, and it kept silencing. Shh. Like he always kept silent. You remember that scene, right?
Yep, and he was also he played like the narrator, like in the Spider-Man video games too. Like I distinctly remember. Oh man, this was back in 2002, way back. The first Spider-Man game where you go through the tutorial level, and he's like the narrator who guides Peter Parker through the basics of the game, the abilities. And I remember at a certain point when wall crawling, Bruce Campbell was like, "Okay, good for you. Tell you what, I'm gonna go and make myself a ham sandwich, and I'll be right back." And then you can actually, and when it cuts back to him talking again, like when you can hear his voice again, he's making chewing noises. Like I don't know if he really was eating a sandwich for real, if that was just acting, but either way, it's hilarious.
Another thing I can remember, another Evil Dead reference involving Bruce Campbell is, and I showed this to you a couple of years ago. This goes way back too, again, early 2000s. Do you remember that cartoon series that was called Megas XLR? Remember that show? I was with the giant robot.
I think so.
He in one episode he fights if you remember, he fights like this giant head, which is also his body, like these little arms and legs, and it's voiced by Bruce Campbell. And at one point, this weird dude like goes to like a giant robot body of his own, and he fights the main robot, and he goes, "And I thought you were tough. Not so tough against the Sonic Abominator." And then it's like a close-up shot. He goes, "Groovy." And then he puts the glasses on, which ironically enough is also a reference to another movie that he had also been involved with, another horror comedy film, which was Bubba Hotep.
Oh yeah.
So it's even funny to think how even the Evil Dead trilogy has even kind of been referenced in children's cartoons.
Yeah. Oh, here, look. You can keep pushing it and keep on your combo. Yeah, that's the first Spider-Man game. You're right. Oh man, that was actually, I think, one of the first games that I played on the PlayStation 2. So yeah, that takes me back. But anyway, so yeah, Sam Raimi always has.
What's up, Brad? Brad's on.
Hey, Brad. Hey, thank you for joining us. So yeah, like I was saying, what favorite movie trilogy of all time?
I was gonna say you can continue talking on. I mean, a lot of times whenever I put comments up, you don't always have to read them like right away. Spider-Man trilogy, nice.
Yep, I have the
Nice.
whole trilogy on Blu-ray and digital. So yeah, I can just watch Spider-Man trilogy on my phone whenever. But yeah, I was saying about Sam Raimi. Yeah, like he always has Bruce Campbell as a cameo in all of his films. Yeah, like another one that he did was in Oz the Great and Powerful, the prequel to The Wizard of Oz, which was released almost 10 years ago now. So yeah, man, I'm thinking back to it's like when you think about it, back in 1981, I'm pretty sure nobody would have expected this, expected Sam Raimi, a newcomer at the time, to be like have his career build up to the point where he's directing a fairly good prequel to one of the most beloved and cherished movies in history.
I love what Billy's comments saying. Forget Star Wars, Godfather, and Dark Knight. This is the perfect trilogy. I'm not sure about Star Wars, but the other ones I could probably forget.
What's wrong with Star Wars?
Yeah, I'm saying I don't know about Star Wars. Like I'm saying that I'll still watch Star Wars. The other trilogies, I've never even seen The Godfather. So
What?
No, I've never seen The Godfather.
Hold on, where is it? Where is it? Okay, here. I'm bringing this to a screening one day, and we are seeing it.
Okay.
If you love movies, it is a sin.
Jeremy.
It is
okay.
It is a sin not to see this.
Yeah. Oh geez. Original Star Wars, yes. The prequels and sequels, no.
Well, episode 3 I liked as far as Star Wars.
I thought the third one was really. Oh, he must be talking back. What Brad said. He said this earlier. Jeremy said he's watched the entire series a couple times. It's hard for him to get into. Are you talking about Evil Dead, Jeremy?
I'm guessing he is. Yeah,
Godfather is one of the best franchises. I know, but I just love this response more than anything. What Jeremy said. Oh, wait a minute. Guess what? I'm not alone. Brad's never watched The Godfather either. Yeah, I'm not alone. Evil Dead was hard for you to get into, really.
Well, yeah, I mean, it is slightly different from what we expected from the film series, but I still liked it. I thought it was good.
Oh, jeez, Brad.
I mean, Bruce Campbell reprising his role as Ash after all this time, that's he hasn't played the character since he hasn't been Ash since Army of Darkness.
Wow. Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, here, Don. Does that Blu-ray of Godfather include the third one? No. It's just the first one. I got the second one too.
Yes, Army of Darkness is the best.
Yeah, Army of Darkness was where the series really the tone completely shifted from horror to horror comedy.
It is literally. I'm gonna be honest. Army of Darkness, it is one of my all-time favorites. I just absolutely love that movie. It's hilarious and a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, like it never gets old. Still awesome, still hilarious after all this time.
Yep, Brad, we were just talking a little bit about the television series, which we'll be talking a little bit more in a bit. And yes, he did also have that cameo in the remake right at the end, which I thought was awesome, by the way.
Yeah, I liked it. Like they really upped the disturbing content and gore in the remake 2013. Man, that was
it was just it literally kind of, even though it's somewhat of a remake, but also kind of a sequel, it basically goes back obviously to how the original one was, where it was supposed to be a very dark, very serious film.
Oh yes, yeah, it just really went back to the disturbing horror roots of the whole franchise.
Want to get into Godfather because there's a biopic miniseries about making the movie called The Offer. It's really good.
Yep, Nick.
Hey, it was an offer. Your car was yours.
And yes, Billy, we were just talking about that too, about another Evil Dead movie.
Yes, Evil Dead Rise. It's coming out in April, and they already released a picture of it that I just displayed onto here. Yeah, of one of the Deadites. So I gotta say, I'm impressed by what I'm seeing so far. Like
Yeah,
the makeup, the contact lenses, all of that was great.
yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
yeah.
And
So the original film, like Sam Raimi, like he had a real hard time getting the first film off the ground because he had trouble with funding and locations. He actually had to reach out to like friends and family members for funds, just to get the production started. But yeah, like he had to borrow money from family. Yeah, like it was a mess in the beginning, but he managed to get a budget of about just under 400 grand.
oh wow, really?
Yep,
I didn't
that's
realize it
yeah.
was 400 grand that he had ended up paying.
Yeah, another example of how you don't need to have multi-million dollars to make a film good.
You don't. You really don't. But didn't he also start off? Oh, hey, Anita, good to see you on this.
Yeah.
Miles. Oh, wait a minute. This must be from what Billy was referring to. The Oliver is playing as the producer of The Godfather, Miles Teller. Of all Bruce Campbell's work, yes. Well, here's the other thing too. What I was going to ask was, before they even made Evil Dead, didn't they actually originally start off with a short film that was kind of like a precursor to Evil Dead from 1978?
Yes, they did. 1978. I was about to say, like they started off with that short. Oh, and yep, Billy was saying,
Yep, they did.
And Bruce and his friends started a bunch of home movies together. Yeah, that's because they were friends in high school. So
sometimes less is more. Bless you, Don.
Yes,
yeah,
thank
sometimes
you.
less is more. Definitely.
Yeah, that's true. Ares, god of war. Okay.
I don't know what he means by that, but okay. Damn, I don't know what that means.
I think
go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. So yeah, like once they got the money off the ground, then they were met with all kinds of trouble during production, like due to the cold weather that was causing some of the circuits to freeze up in cameras, and like people kept getting sick, and yeah, like there was a lot of tension going on.
The short film was called Within the Woods.
Yes, that's
right.
That's
what it was.
Within the Woods. And they also originally, Nick, I'm sure you know this, originally they wanted this film, The Evil Dead, to be called The Book of the Dead. But then they just changed it to Evil Dead because they felt like Book of the Dead didn't have a good enough ring to it.
Right. There was an Evil Dead that wasn't as funny. The popular one is the remake. So, yeah, we were just, that's the one we were talking about, the original one. Jack of All Trades TV show.
I don't think I've seen that show.
Never seen it either. There were a couple short films that led to Evil Dead. Were there any other ones? I just know about the Within the Woods film.
Quality of the short was really bad. Yeah, I got to look at the short film. I haven't been able to come across it just yet. I wonder if I'm thinking it might be available online.
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen it either. So, here's Pickle Tom. Hey, brother, sorry again for not being able to make it tonight. Well, Tom, it's no big deal. You just get better.
Yes.
Get well. We'll have you on again real soon.
Yeah. Glad that you're watching. Wait, he's referring Bill. Hang on.
Okay, this is what he's talking about.
When he's talking about Ares, god of war, he's referring to Bruce Campbell's character in King of Thieves in Xenia, Warrior Princess. Okay, that's why I didn't know, because I didn't watch that show. That's why.
It was during the time of when he was on Xena and Hercules. Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, because I didn't watch those shows, so I didn't. Am I the only one I'm the only one in family who's not affected by cold or hot weather. Yep, same here. Seriously, right now it's probably about hold on, 54 degrees. I could walk out like this in my t-shirt and my jeans, and I'd be fine. I'm not sure it's windy right now, but whatever, don't care.
It's not really windy as far as I know, because I was outside. I was doing exercising, and it's only like I said, 54, and as long as it's over 40 degrees, I can wear shortless sleeves like this without a problem.
Oh yes. One short film that
Sam and Bruce did called The Blind Waiter. It's really hilarious.
I'm gonna have to look into that as well.
The Evil Dead TV series is hysterical. It is. Can I request The Blind?
I could try to, Billy. Yeah, like because here's the thing: I'm always trying to be very careful about what I react to because, like, I don't want any videos that are that I do create end up getting blocked due to copyright issues. I've had that going on so many times when it comes to like health bar videos and music videos. So that's why I've been holding off on some music videos out there lately because they get struck down with copyright issues. So
Done.
yeah, it's
You're
and
not.
words cannot express how much that frustrates me.
Oh, I'm sure. Don, I got to tell you this right now. I just
What's up?
decided to look. I decided to look this up. That film you were talking about, Within the Woods from 1978. I'm
Yeah.
not even joking. Somebody uploaded it. It's only a half-hour film. Someone uploaded it 8 days ago. It's on YouTube.
Let me take a look. Let me see if I can find that on here. Hang on.
Yeah, it's. I don't know who put it up, but it's the whole film. Oh my goodness! Yeah, the quality's really bad.
Well,
You could
let's see.
You could tell this was
Okay,
from a VHS tape.
okay, I'm seeing like a picture of a guy with blood all over himself, like lifting a woman up. So
Scrod, that's the one.
Hmm.
I just played it briefly, and it's just the thumbnail. This is the actual film.
well, this wasn't this film wasn't obviously wasn't digitally restored, like so.
Yeah, you could tell. I could tell right now. Whoever uploaded this in this copy, it's off of videotape. So it almost looked like, it was shot on probably 8mm or 16mm film, but it looks almost like a video camera too. So it doesn't look anything like what the Evil Dead trilogy would eventually look like in picture quality. But no, the full film, it's up on YouTube. So now I gotta watch.
Okay.
Now after this show, I'm gonna have to watch it.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I'll see if I can do a reaction video to it. Hopefully it won't get struck with copyright because that's been a constant issue for me. And
This person uploaded it and said that he's not claiming copyright or anything like that. So I'm just gonna say, regardless whether you do it or not, you better get it soon before someone takes it down.
Yeah, if someone could take that down, they might take my reaction video to that down. That's the problem.
Yeah.
So
I could have sworn there was another that led either into Within the Woods or was in between that and Evil Dead. Waiter, wait. What? What the hell are you?
He's referring to the movie. That Waiter movie that they were just talking about. Billy.
Oh.
Yeah. Where was that at?
It
was that copy that they.
Sorry, I'm just trying to. The comments are coming in really fast. I don't mean to keep talking in between, Don.
Yeah, well, we'll just wait until. Let's see. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, the film like it was done in Tennessee, and in like I just really love how it like somewhat introduced that whole story element of taking place in a cabin inside of isolated away out in the woods.
Yeah,
so
miles from any civilization.
Yeah, Evil Dead played a huge role into making that story element popular. Yeah, so.
As I would put it, it's the ultimate cabin in the woods story.
Yeah, and they've reused this formula time and time again. Like one of my favorite examples in like a more modern cinema history is in Dog Soldiers. You know that werewolf movie?
Yeah, I love that movie.
That took place in a house in the woods. Only instead of being surrounded. Yeah.
Not to mention another movie that involves cabin in the woods is The Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah.
And also, I can think of one more movie that's involving cabin in the woods, not necessarily dealing with a dangerous entity, but more of a disease. And I think you're going to know this one immediately because it was 20 years ago it came out. Yep, Cabin Fever.
Cabin Fever.
Someday.
I knew it.
Someday. What?
I knew you were going to mention that. I said I knew you were going to mention Cabin Fever. Knew it. And like Cabin Fever, I only like the first one. I didn't like the sequels or the remake.
You didn't like the original Cabin Fever?
I said I like the original. That's the only one I like.
Sorry. I thought you said you didn't. I was gonna say, yeah, I liked the original Cabin Fever, but I didn't even bother. I mean, other than from what I've heard that Ryder Strong makes an appearance at the beginning of the film, like that was probably the only part where it was good. That once he died off, that was it. It was over with.
Yeah.
There
Yeah,
was
pretty
no
much.
reason for me
And
to still watch it.
yeah, I mean, yeah, Ryder Strong, who played Sean Hunter in Boy Meets World. Yeah, that's one of the main reasons a lot of people wanted to see that film.
Yeah, and they said if you hated Boy Meets World, you're gonna love seeing Ryder Strong get tortured. So, but I love this
And
what Tom's
or hit by a bus in the beginning of the sequel.
yeah. Someday I will make it to the original filming place. The chimney still stands.
Yes, I should mention Nick. I was going to bring this up still later on, but now that Tom here, let's let's pause the comments for a minute. I want to explain this, Nick. Yeah, Tom brings up what I was going to mention later on about the cabin. So the film, like I said, it was filmed in Tennessee, Morristown, Tennessee, I believe, if I remember correctly. The cabin had since then, like after the first film, a few years later, had been burned to the ground. And the only thing that remains is the chimney and the fireplace where they had burned the Necronomicon at the end of the film. And also, the thing is, you're not allowed to go. You're not allowed to go to that spot, to that location, because it's on private property. So, yeah, you're pretty much breaking trespassing law going there, because people actually go there to get bricks from the fireplace,
Oh,
and that's a terrible idea. Yeah, because apparently, from what I've heard, like I've heard two different stories as to how that happened. It was either struck by lightning and burned to the ground, or there was another story I heard about a bunch of squatters who just hung out in there and were lighting candles to get more light in the place. And one of the candles started the fire. Why the hell didn't they just use the fireplace? Is anyone's guess.
wow, real? I didn't know about that, to be honest.
Yeah, so the only thing that remains of that place is that fireplace and chimney. So
That's
yeah, and
crazy.
yeah, it says on private property, so you have to get permission or risk being shot at. Yeah, because Nick, take it from a man who has gone to, university education in the South.
Nearby
When
Kentucky.
yes, take it from a man who's been spent a lot of time in the South. When there's a lot of properties that when there's a property that has a sign posted saying trespassers will be shot, they're not playing around. If they want to defend their property, they mean it.
That's the lifestyle down in states like Kentucky and Tennessee, where if you trespass, you're gonna get shot.
Yeah. And it's like you want to go there and get a brick from that chimney, you're going to get a bullet before you get that brick.
I'm just gonna say this for Tom right now because he said he wanted to try to get there, like to show up there. I'm just gonna say this, Tom. You do that. There's a good chance if you're gonna make this an episode of This Is Tom's World. I got a feeling most likely it's probably gonna be more like a Blair Tom project, more like Blair Witch. He goes over there, and all of a sudden he finds the chimney, and all of a sudden he gets shot.
Jesus.
The Blair Tom project. And yes, same in Anita makes a good point. Another example, same here in Virginia.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh, I should point out, Nick, the cellar, the scenes that show the interior of that cellar, with the stone walls and everything, that was not filmed at that cabin. It was actually the interior of a farmhouse, the cellar of a farmhouse up in Michigan. Apparently, like one of the producers had a place up there. So, yeah, that cabin did not have a cellar.
Really?
Yeah.
Look what Anita just wrote. The Tom Blair project. No, wait a minute. Oh, even better. The Blair Pickle project. You better run, boy, and fast.
Yeah. Yeah. Try as hard as you can to outrun those bullets.
You gotta be super fast, which is impossible.
You better run like you're the Flash. You're just Barry Allen mode. You're just Barry Allen your way out of there.
Oh, Jeremy said he downloaded Within the Woods.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I gotta check that one out.
I think that all the cabin fever movies suck. Really?
Well, I do agree to some extent. I mean, the first one was not the best horror film ever, but it still somewhat has its place in horror history. But the rest of them are terrible. The rest of them are garbage.
They are. I know they made a remake on that too. Evil Dead was filmed in 16 millimeter to make it more rustic.
Oh yeah.
Although Billy
that's true. The second
Billy
cabin
now
fever
says second cabin fever is okay.
Yeah, third one was horrible. Not even what's his name? Samwise from Lord of the Rings was able to save that film.
The cellar was just a trap door with a small ditch under it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's what they did for like on site, like when they showed those shots of the of possessed Cheryl just like pushing like against the door, like she was down there. She wasn't standing in a cellar, she was standing in a ditch.
Wow.
Yeah, the more you know.
The creepy old man will get you shot at.
Yep.
That's the South for you.
Yeah, but believe me, I spent plenty. I mean, during my time at the university, like I mean, like I've heard all my life, I hear about all these stereotypes of people who are in southern states. All these, it's me, like all, a whole lot of stereotypes they have there are just nonsense about, like, crazy people, guns who are shit. Like I've, a lot of people down there are friendly, but believe me, man.
Oh yeah, there's still a lot of friendly people down there. You just don't want to trespass on property, just like anywhere else.
Mm-hmm. Very true.
Nina said she has the director's cut of Army of Darkness. The ending is really weird.
Yeah, the ending is weird. If you're referring to what I think you are, then yeah.
I've never seen that ending.
I slept too long.
I've never seen that ending of the director's cut. Groovy.
But yeah, Bruce Campbell, he had like the first Evil Dead was the one that he loved the most working on. I mean, I just love his character development throughout the series. Like thinking back to how he was in the beginning when the whole situation started going down, when he's getting thrown around by the Deadites, when he's Shelly was possessed, and then Scott had to be the one to like chop her down with the axe. When here, let's hold off on the comments while I'm talking, Nick.
Oh no, we could still put them up. You don't have to read every single one of them.
Okay, well, so yeah, like, and while Scott had to be the one to take her down because Ash was like paralyzed with fear while everything was going on. But the thing is, when Scott was had died after like getting attacked by the trees, and he's Ash was all alone, so he had to be the one to step up to the plate.
Right.
Yeah, it's like as terrifying as the situation is, he's got to be the last man standing. He's got to fight to survive.
Someone's got to fight.
Mm-hmm.
Billy's asking here, was the cabin in Evil Dead 2 a different cabin?
Yes, it was. They found a new cabin after the first one had burned down, and so they had to try to recreate it as best as possible. They had a bigger budget this time, and I've read from an interview that Sam Raimi had a lot of support by Stephen King, who was a huge fan of the first film when it came out. And he helped them get investors to create a bigger budget. So I'm guessing with that, they were able to try to recreate the cabin to replicate the first one as best as they could. So I think they did a really good effort.
If you are doomed. That's Friday the 13th you're talking about here.
Yeah. Wrong movie, dude.
Give me some sugar, baby.
Army of Darkness.
Got another question here. Have you played the Evil Dead multiplayer game?
I have not yet. I want to though. It seems like fun. So I mean, I've played, like Friday the 13th. The multiplayer that was fun. So, and if I remember correctly, I think the new Evil Dead game is made by the same game company. So, yeah, I'm willing to give that a chance.
Oh, Don, I want to actually surprise you. We got Adam Hefty watching right here with the Necronomicon.
Oh,
hey.
Oh, hey, guys, just doing a little light reading here.
That's awesome.
Thank you guys for having me on. I'm doing very well. I'm happy to be back. Happy belated Halloween to both of you gentlemen. Don, you especially. Nick, I talked to you yesterday, but Don, happy belated Halloween, buddy.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Yep, it was a good Halloween this year.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Nick still got it going on there.
It's All Saints Day. And tomorrow's All Souls Day. So, like I've said before, the official Halloween season ends tomorrow night because of All Souls Day. So, once November 3rd hits, then we could worry about Thanksgiving and all this other
Keep it going.
Stuff.
Keep it. Well, we work in food retail. So, as soon as, Halloween's over, it's like, yeah, here we go. Let's get the.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry I missed out. What are we talking about right now?
we were just discussing the original Evil Dead and also the Cabin because
Yes.
because the Cabin, the original one from the first film, had burned to the ground,
Yep.
and so they had to have a new one for the second film, which they were able to do a great job in making it look like the original Cabin with a bigger budget that they had. So,
In part 2.
In part 2, yes.
Yes, they also built that in a high school gym, I believe. They built that in a gym in the summer that it was filmed. And one of the coolest things is about the Evil Dead series is if you look in Friday the 13th, and we're going to connect the two series here for just a moment, if I may. In Friday the 13th, Part 9, Jason Goes to Hell, the Necronomicon that was borrowed from the set of Evil Dead 3 was in that movie, which is really cool.
That's correct. Awesome. That was about a year after they made Army of Darkness, since it was the early 90s, so I could see how they were able to borrow it.
Yeah. No, it was pretty well. Plus, they had a lot of people that were kind of working concurrently on both projects. I think primarily like K&B effects. But yeah, the original Evil Dead, holy mackerel. Now, I had seen the original Evil Dead after seeing Evil Dead 2.
Oh.
So all I had known up until that point was Evil Dead 2. I saw Evil Dead 1 on, I believe, the Sci-Fi channel back in like 95 for the first time. And I was blown away because it was more, Evil Dead 2 always seemed more comedic to me. And then when I watched Evil Dead 1, I was like, this is more like they're trying to make a scary movie.
Oh, yeah.
Which I'm sure you guys already talked about this. They based it on Sam Raimi's Cabin in the Woods, which I believe you can find on YouTube, a very terrible version of it. But yeah, it was all based on that. But good stuff, man. What a great franchise.
I just looked up that original film that was called Within the Woods from 1978. Somebody uploaded it literally 8 days ago. It's only a half-hour film, but somebody uploaded it.
Yeah, it's terrible footage, but it's definitely worth a watch. It incorporates a lot of Bruce Campbell being the evil entity in the short, I should say.
To me, just the quality of it, when I saw like briefly the footage, it almost looks more like a student film more than anything else. Just the appearance of it, like as if this was their first. It's like how a high school or college student would have started out when making
almost like a thesis project. Yeah,
very much like it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So let me just see here. It's a shame that Ash vs. Evil Dead got canned after 3 seasons, forced them to make an ending too quick. And now I wish someone would just pick it up again and continue. But Bruce has said that he will no longer portray Ash on film, only in voice and games and such. But he's been saying that a number of times, but he always keeps coming back.
Oh yeah, he really loves he really loves the character.
HBO should make an animated series of it.
That could be interesting.
The thing I disliked, I think, the most about the Ash versus the Evil Dead series, I thought it was great. And then when they ended it, I thought they kind of went a little too close to the alternate ending, or the original ending, I should say, of Army of Darkness, where he just takes too many drops and sleeps way too long and overdoes it. Because it's almost the same scenario. But, what do I know?
Necronomicon. My husband has a story that just came out in Leaves of the Necronomicon.
Ah.
So I'm just catching up with all the comments. Midnight Club, there was a subtle reference where one of the characters who has an Army of Darkness poster in her room dreams she's working at S-Marts.
Oh. That's awesome.
Geez, Tom's really has a lot to say. About halfway through The Evil Dead 2, Ash gets pushed through the air by the Force and lands in a puddle and becomes a Deadite. Bruce said in an interview that if you forget everything that happened in the movie before that, you could think of that point being the beginning of a sequel to the original, since the first movie ends with him being attacked.
A couple of years ago, when my brother and my friend and I went to go see Evil Dead 1 and 2, signed by Bruce Campbell, where are we here? on the poster in upstate New York. They were showing Evil Dead 1 and 2 on the big screen. I'd never seen it before, and there was a meet and greet with Bruce Campbell there. And it was another one of those times where he brought up, so if you cut Evil Dead 1 at the part where it's breaking through the doors at the very end, and when it hits Ash, right at the very end, and if you edited that where it starts kicking in Evil Dead 2, where he starts spinning him around and he lands in the puddle, like it all becomes one continuous film. Like you could edit it that way, and I believe there are edits of the film in that direction. But I always thought that was really cool. But yeah, good times.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, because when I first saw like Evil Dead 2, I was like confused because of how inconsistent it was to the events in the first Evil Dead. Like it just showed in the second film in the beginning, it just showed Ash and his girlfriend Linda. When there were more characters in the first film, there was Ash's sister Cheryl, their friend Scott, and their friend Shelly. So I was like, where are they? What happened to them? Where'd they go?
Well, originally I was told that apparently they were going to actually just use previous footage from the first movie to kind of act as an introduction, kind of like, here's what happened last time. And they exactly what Tom said. Supposedly they lost the rights to the main storyline. So unfortunately, even though it was the same company and same director, producer, whatever, they for some reason couldn't get the rights to using footage from the first movie. So that's why, they made it a whole
started
new introduction.
The Rosebud LLC, that little company there, the Rosebud, where it goes into Evil Dead. That's why they started that.
And there was only one
because of that,
There was only one piece of original footage that was used in the intro, which was that part where it ends as the first movie, and then it gets right to the new footage.
Yeah.
I always thought it was pretty cool that Bridget Fonda was like the third Linda in Army of Darkness, because I'm like, that's a big name.
Yeah, that's right. That's true. I remember first seeing her in Lake Placid. Yeah.
Oh, it's a great movie. Any movie with Betty White swearing in it is okay by me.
Oh man, what a national treasure she was.
R.I.P. Betty White.
Mm-hmm. It's been almost a year now since she's gone. Man,
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah, on New Year's Eve of all days.
Yeah,
I know.
That's crazy.
Unreal.
And what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, like wanted to talk about the effects in this. Obviously, like it was a low budget film, so like the effects in this, like the makeup effects were just all right for its time. So I mean, they wouldn't be able to use it in today's standards. But I felt like it was good for what they were able to do back then. I mean, and they did a great job with the blood effects, and the blood, which I should point out, was very simple, a combination of corn syrup and red food coloring. But in certain points, though, I should point out, in certain points, there was blood that was like blue. I guess that was like Sam Raimi's way of trying to change the colors of blood to try to like get a way to get around
away from the senses. Are we talking about part 2 right now?
Part 1.
Part 1? Yeah. There was a lot of that, and especially in part 2, it's more predominant when you have very many. When you have the Evil Ed, like guy with the teeth, shit coming out, his blood is primarily like green, I believe.
It was green.
And then you have like black blood and blue blood and red blood, like you said. And in part 2, that was why that was there, was to get around the censors. So yes, you are correct. Yes, sir.
There is one effect I will say, and I'm sorry to bring this one up, Don, but I'm just going to say it now. It's, let's just say, the tree sequence. Very messed up.
I always skip that part.
Yeah, that scene is just messed up. But I will just say at least this, the way how they use those tree effects, like to make the trees come to life, that's pretty good special effect up until you know what happens.
Yeah.
No, I don't, Nick. Please tell us more.
No.
Come on, Gorilla Glue.
It's you want us to explain to you one of the most controversial movie scenes ever.
Oh, not at all. That's one of my favorite scenes. What a great movie.
Oh my God.
I mean, the actress like, what was her name? Sandweiss something. Like her last name was
Ellen
Sandweiss.
Sandweiss. Ellen Sandweiss.
Yeah.
Yes.
She hated that scene. She actually
Yeah.
ended up getting cuts and scrapes during that scene. Like the blood you see is real, and she hates discussing it at conventions. She likes to pretend that it never happened. I mean, can you really blame her?
No, not at all.
Yeah,
There was actually a very cool movie that starred what the hell's the name of it? It was the gentleman that started American Werewolf in London and Ellen Sandweiss and like a bunch of other people, and it was kind of like a parody of a 80s splatter fic being made. It was like bloody. I have it back there in my collection somewhere. I just don't feel like poking it out. But I had seen Ellen Sandweiss in it, and I was like, "Oh, that's the chick from Evil Dead." I'm like, "Oh, I know you."
Nice.
It's good stuff. Good stuff.
Don't forget my sponsorship. He's talking about Brad's talking about Gorilla Glue.
No, it's not about Sprite.
And Sprite, yes.
Yeah. That
what about
inside joke?
Zimas?
Yeah.
What?
That inside joke that nobody's gonna get here.
What about what?
What?
Zimas. You guys are way too young. Yeah, never mind. Wow.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, no, I'm old.
I haven't shown that. Okay, so I'm just gonna say this really quickly. I was at the Perry Unity Con 2 weeks ago, and Brad actually showed up at this event. Adam, you're gonna like this, but apparently, I don't have it with me, but apparently he was gonna make me a new paranormal tool, right? Well, unfortunately, he was unable to make it for me, so he decided to go out of his way and buy me an alternative, which was Gorilla Glue instead. He bought me the whole can. He bought me whole can of Gorilla Glue spray.
Don't use it. Don't use it on those luscious locks, bro.
Well, it said it still says on the disclaimer, don't use it in your hair.
Yeah, that SNL skit.
They are way too young for Zimas.
Oh, here.
That's true.
All right, you previous viewers, listen up. You see this? This is my boomstick.
Love it. Love it.
It's not sandwich, it's sandwich. Okay.
Sandwich. Yeah, sandwich.
Yes. Yeah, but back to the end of this film. So, like, I want to say that tree scene, I always skip that now. Always. Every time I see that film,
Yeah.
I always skip it. I do not care. Call me a wuss. I don't care. I will not watch that again.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I don't blame you.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the audience.
Oh, fair enough.
Oh.
My bad.
I thought the same thing.
I'm not. I always assume everybody is always talking to me. No. No. One of the things that I really appreciated about the original one was the stop motion effects.
Yes.
And especially in particular, the pencil stabbing into the Achilles tendon, where Tom Sullivan had to draw it on like frame by frame onto the ankle, which it was meticulous at best. You know what I mean? And just
Yeah, now I know what you're talking about. I thought you were talking about the part like where she also like we were referring to the way when she also stabbed her.
That scene is painful.
Yeah, that's
that scene is cringe. Oh man.
Yeah,
But now I know what you're talking about. Like the part where it creates like that web like pattern.
Yes,
like,
yes.
Yeah, I know. That's really cool. But before that, that's like you could.
You think?
Sorry, go
Nick,
ahead.
You think maybe that web pattern was foreshadowing this?
I never thought of it. I never thought of it that way. I was just gonna say that scene, though. I mean, before that effect takes place, it's just you could feel that pain going through the Achilles tendon. See, like, ow.
Anything that happens like by the heel, I'm like a sucker. Sympathy pains, I'm like, oh god, yeah, I'm good on that shit.
Anything?
Oh no, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Don.
Anything with broken bones that always gets me.
Yeah. Compound fractures, anything where the bone splits or like hangs in a natural angle. Yeah, I'm good on that.
That messes with me every time.
Yeah, I'm super good on that.
Nick, did you see this?
No, is that a glass? Is that a?
I was wondering what that was too.
This is a tiki mug of Annabelle.
Oh, that's super cool.
I did not even see that. I didn't even see the resemblance. Yeah.
They sell these at like horror shops now. Yeah, I'm pretty sure like Hot Topic might have a few like this. I think they have other ones that for Jason. I think they have one for Chucky, if I remember correctly.
I
Let me
went to my brother's yesterday, and he has a Friday the 13th zoetrope.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
trying
I'm
to read.
pronouncing it correctly.
I am.
But it was crazy cool. I was like, bro, what? He was like, yeah, I picked it up for like 10 or 15 bucks last year after Halloween was over at Walmart. And I'm like, what? That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to read this without spilling. Let's see, Geeky Tikis. That's what it's called.
I'm surprised Spirit Halloween didn't sell those.
Well, they were busy working on their movie.
That's true. I forgot about that. They're making a movie on that.
Oh no, it's out and it's
not so good. Because everybody's been telling me to check it out because, as you both know, I've worked at Spirit Halloween, so they would always send me links and articles about it.
Yeah. And I will say this one last thing about that tree scene. Sam Raimi has since then regretted filming that scene. It said like if there was I remember saying in the interview, if there was one thing that he regrets through his entire career, it's that one scene.
Honestly, he can say that, but that is one of the most notorious scenes from that movie and one of the ones he is best known for. So, I mean, you can say that, but really?
Yeah, because I.
Good night, Anita.
Good night, Anita. Yeah, the reason why I bring it up is I saw this comment here, so
yeah,
that's why I brought that up. But yeah, he I know why he added that scene is for shock value, but still at the same time, I felt like he went too far.
Fair enough.
So, yeah.
Sometimes when you're a filmmaker, and I mean, as I've always learned, sometimes when you're especially making like your real first like movie, there are going to be certain scenes where, yeah, you think it was great at the time, but you're going to partially have, as years go on, as you get older, yes, you're going to have regrets, but the reality of it is that's just sometimes how filmmaking works, regardless of what genre it is.
Or just life in general.
Especially in the era that we live in today. It may have not been as, I wouldn't necessarily say this. It may have not been as frowned upon, for lack of a better term, back then. Of course, today, that's a different story.
Yeah, because the only thing worse than that in my book was what they did in Cannibal Holocaust. I told you about this one, Nick, where they actually killed animals.
Movie.
Hold on one second.
You have it, don't you?
Uh-oh.
You have that movie, don't you?
He took his headphones off so he can't hear us.
Okay.
Oh, no. He does have it.
I have to dig behind a ton of movies. Sorry. I have it, but no, that was I do have it.
Yeah, but I don't agree at all with their methods making that film to like increase the shock value by having actual animals being killed. I'm just like, okay, yeah, I'm glad that guy was charged for doing that. And I'm just thinking, I'm never watching a movie from this guy again. It's like, well, what's he gonna do next? What's going on in his next film? What is he gonna show then? Some POW executions?
Well, I think the whole thing that was they were coming off the heels on the Mondo, the Mondo Cane Italian movies back in the day. Not necessarily just Italian, but I believe that the Mondo Cane movies. It was like Faces of Death, but like actual stuff.
Yeah.
And I think they were kind of.
Sorry, Don.
Okay.
Hey, Rochelle.
Thank you for joining us.
Rochelle's one of our local friends, Adam. So yeah, it's good to see you.
Oh, right on. What's up, Rochelle?
Yeah, go ahead though. You were saying though. I'm sorry.
Oh no. I think they were just coming off the heels on that, and Italians always kind of tried to push the barrier as far as cinema goes, and especially with a lot of those documentary style movies that were coming out back in in the 70s. The Mondo movies were huge, which led to, of course, Faces of Death, Traces of Death, that whole kind of thing where it was like the real life splatter and like the anatomically correct gore. I think they were capitalizing on. And from Cannibal Holocaust, from what I recall is I believe all of the actors had to sign like NDAs and couldn't do any kind of interviews or anything like that. And Rosario Deodato ended up, being in a lot of trouble for that, and had to actually physically produce the actors and actresses to make sure it was not like a snuff film.
Right.
But yeah, what a like, even back in the day, and you look at it now, and it's like, I think the most brutal thing in that film is the animal killings.
Yes.
And they always say it's like, oh, we ate the turtle, or like it didn't go to waste and stuff. It's like, well, did it? Again, like,
yeah. Well, and the
really?
other thing, the only thing too that Rosario Deodato was able to like obviously, again, satisfying that he got charged with the animal killings, but more importantly, I was told that it was only after when he brought the actors, onto a television show where that the murder charges were dropped.
Yeah.
He even told them that they couldn't even appear in any commercials or anything.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Because
Perry Kirkane and the gentleman who plays the blonde-haired gentleman, and I use the term loosely in there, from Vermont, actually.
Really?
Just a state over from me. Yeah.
Wow.
And there was a slew of like Holocaust movies back in the day. You have Jungle Holocaust, you have Cannibal Holocaust, you have Cannibal Feroz, Make 'em Die Slowly. There was like a slew of these movies. They all took place in the rain, the Amazon. Now, I apologize, Don. I know we're getting way off topic here, buddy.
Yes.
So all right, I'll lead it back to Don.
Yeah, we
so
can chat more about it, at some other time. We always have chats like this.
I was about to say future episode, but no, I don't want to watch Cannibal Holocaust ever again.
No, you don't.
No, I had to. It's the only movie that I have ever seen where I've had to completely like bring that out of my memory. What was that? What's that term called? Repress. That's what I'm working for. I had to repress that film completely. Yeah, that movie just made me feel almost 2 days straight. Felt like nauseous just from thinking about it.
Yeah,
that's how I felt about Hocus Pocus 2.
Oh, you saw it? You did?
Okay,
no, not at all. I'm just being that guy.
So what was the most shocking part to you, Nick, aside from the, aside from that scene? Yeah.
Oh man, that's a really good question. Man, see, there's quite a number of scenes that were somewhat shocking. Honestly, I can't really think of one particular scene that shocked me. I think it was just the whole film in general that I could really think of.
Oh yeah, like when I first saw that film, like thought the most shocking was like when she first get in where Cheryl is first possessed and he's just levitating. It shows the eyes opaque or whited out or rolled back, whatever
when
that was.
She's calling out the cards. That was
yes.
Super creepy. That was
actually,
super
I take
creepy,
it back. Yeah. Actually, I take that back. What I said. That was the scene that shocked me. Yes.
Yeah. 2 of spades, Jack of diamonds, Jack of clubs.
Yeah.
And then he turns ahead, and just levitates and just is saying, "You will die like the others before you." And
one by one, we will. Yeah.
That's good. Brad, I got the link. It was the intro to the Jack of All Trades with Bruce Campbell.
I got it too, and and then the whole film just got terrifying, more and more terrifying from there. And you just never know which character is going to be next.
Another thing you should note, Don, a word of note too. I don't know if you have this to bring up, but it's amazing too with how they did the special eye effects for the Deadites, for those who got possessed.
The full scleras.
Yeah, they were, as Bruce Campbell explained, they were contact lenses, and they would have some kind of material or something in them, which still allow them to see through, but obviously you couldn't see their irises.
No, they couldn't see anything. And that carried over to part 2 as well. Yeah, they were full scleras. So they basically, if you open your eyes up, they encompass the entire eye. And you could only get them made. You had to have them made by a ophthalmologist. And when you put them in, they were blind, which is why if you look in a couple of the scenes in Evil Dead 2, when Bruce is evil Ash. Especially in like a lot of the outtakes and stuff, he has to be directed to where the person is to meet the eye line or where they are, because you could not see with those. You were completely blind with the full sclerosis.
Yeah, me. I've never used contacts before in my life, and I feel hesitant to do so because I don't know how I'm gonna be with. Because
If you can touch your eyeball, you'll be okay. If not, then don't do them.
Yeah, okay. I've never used them either.
Because I've been a lot of times in the past where I've gone as like a zombie for Halloween and like have like legit makeup effects done. But the only thing I have not done is contacts. I always wanted to see what it'd be like if I had red eyes or like but I just couldn't do it.
Well, Don, I just want to point something out too, by the way, and because actually you've told me this the last time we saw this movie was in later editions of Evil Dead. What they later did with those special eye effects is not obviously the original, but they added that special effect to the eyes where they got a lot brighter to the point it looks like their eyes are actually glowing, which actually, in my opinion, made it even more scary and almost even somewhat very inhuman. It just had that very unsettling effect. So they probably didn't think about that obviously back in 1981, but now with these new editions of the film, it just seemed like it just got better and scarier each time, especially when you have the glowing eye effects.
Oh yeah, I mean, like, the makeup and the eyes, like the opaque or whited out eyes, like everything they did for those deadites. I mean, they didn't call them deadites until the second film, but anyway, the possessed people, they. That's what really sold it in the first film. Like, and that along with the voices and also their, they're like completely, torturous nature. How they always want to torment all the survivors. Like making it seem like Linda was not possessed anymore, but it was all just a trick.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Did you guys touch upon the fact that it was during the recitation, or when they were reading from the Necronomicon? There was a thing that roughly translated says Sam and Rob are the hitchhikers on the side of the road. So, like, when he's honking the horn, he's like, I was like, that's actually really cool. I like that.
Yeah, that was them. The guys, the fishermen walking by in the beginning, Nick, that they drove past.
Yeah.
I'm not honking at you, but when the guy is reading on the tape from the Book of the Dead, one of the lines roughly translated is Rob and Sam are the guys on the side of the road, which is pretty cool.
Don, I got to bring this up. Jerry's saying he's playing video games for the first time in forever.
Oh, stop.
Brad's like, what are you playing, Jerry? Super Mario World. And Brad, get you Phasmophobia on Steam. You got it, Jerry. Oh, my God. If anybody, I'm just going to say this right now since Brad brought it up. If anybody's looking for like an actual real game that focuses on paranormal investigations, play Phasmophobia. That's as close as you'll ever get to a paranormal investigation game. I have it on Steam, and it is creepy as hell.
Oh, man.
Hitchhikers may be escaping patients.
Oh, yeah.
And yes, you need to get that game. Adam, didn't you say you had Steam before?
I do, but I'm more a retro collector these days, so I'm kind of turned on to Jeremy's thing. I was gonna bust out my Super Mario RPG game or my Super Famicom joint. I don't want to get too. I don't want to get too far off topic here. I apologize.
I haven't really doing Steam much. I've been playing Xbox and Switch, but as far as Super Mario World, I've played that like on the emulators that they have on there. But
I collect. I have like 80 Nintendo games and like probably 20 Super Nintendo games, but sitting back there.
Yeah, most of my games are digital. I just buy them when they're on sale.
Yeah, anyway, that's fair.
Yeah. Anyway, back to this. What was I gonna say? Like that ending, like I just love the POV shots of the demons when they're chasing. Let's see, like they did that for like when in the scenes when they're hunting Cheryl, and also in other scenes when they're about to possess people, and of course that final shot of the film where it's traveling through the woods into the cabin and then right to Ash in the front, right in the front.
Through the doors. I always like, what a wonderful shot. And you know what else I also liked was when they were panning over the beams, and it was making the sounds of a camera passing over the beams. And one of the shots where it's like whom, whom, whum, whum, whum. And it's very subtle, but it was one of those little touches that just really made this movie fantastic.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's just like that scene with those POV shots. I mean, a lot of people have always said that was probably, some people actually said that was far more terrifying than a lot of the other parts of the movie, because you're just like wondering for the most part what the hell is chasing them, and that's kind of adding the terror factor to it. And you never really found out until until more recent years. Everybody always wondered, how on earth did they ever shoot that? Was it a guy? Was it a guy running? Was it a roller? Was it a skateboard? Was it some type of track that they were using? Like, you never, or was it even a car? I mean, you never really knew until a couple of years ago.
Oh, hey, yeah, Nick. Greg just posted saying, "Hello, no Ghost Box live tonight. Just got done with a speaking engagement and will not be home in time. So we can just stand as like we went. So
yeah, we could stick around.
So we don't have to talk about just the first film. We can talk about the other two part of the trilogy as well. So yeah. So
it's like how you got
it was a camera on a 2x4 that they would call the Ramo cam.
Okay.
That they would just, that's how they achieved that, which was particularly interesting for the very opening shot, because when they're going through the swamps. In the first one, it was basically like Sam Raimi on a raft that was being pushed by a dude, with like this camera on a wooden pole, beam or whatever, and then they transitioned and went into the shit, which was kind of neat. When they go to break through the windows. It breaks before the camera gets through. It is because it was on a 2x4 that they had jury rigged.
Yep, Jeremy, we just got word about this.
We just found out.
For letting us know. Yeah, it's either way. It's still an amazing way how they shot that. Really well done.
Oh, yeah. Wow. So, like I was saying, like before, like that ending, like how the ending shot show Bruce Campbell in the end, like it's like when you first see that, it's like, where do you go from there? Like, all your friends are dead, your girlfriend's dead, and like that's the thing. The girlfriend, him like having to kill his possessed girlfriend Linda, like was no doubt the most traumatizing thing for him. Like, especially like after the decapitation, dead insult to injury, the blood from her neck stump just sprays in his face.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
The content when you're holding a camera. I saw you pull something out involving the Necronomicon, Adam. What you got there this time?
So this was from Fright Rags back in the day. It's a cardboard collector's edition joint from the Evil Dead King.
Awesome.
I believe a t-shirt. Oh, sorry, I got a lunch. I'm a collector. I got a bunch of shit lying around. That came with some stuff, and it's really cool because on the inside it has stuff from the. Damn it! Hold on, I'm trying to get the other way. This isn't going to work very well. Sorry, guys. But my favorite, and I've had this, and I was very. So this is a latex on a wooden cigar box. Okay, Now this was again released by Fright Rags many years ago, and it's numbered. And actually, that's my buddy's piece of artwork in there. I'll take that out real quick. Yeah, sorry. But so this was numbered and signed by the sculptor, which was really cool. This is an amazing piece of awesomeness. The painting on it has faded a little bit over the years, just primarily like, where my fingers come in contact with from whatever paints were on it. But holy crap, man, good stuff.
That is awesome. I'm just gonna say this real quick. Brad just commented, why would you buy a box with my ex-wife's face on it?
Oh man, Brad, I've said it before, Brad, and I'll say it again. You better hope your ex-wife does not watch this, otherwise you're a dead man.
I'm
That's
just
okay.
gonna say, I'm just gonna.
Otherwise, she's gonna. Otherwise,
She
she's
was
gonna put
always
your
my
face.
favorite.
Otherwise,
Oh yeah.
otherwise, Brad, she's gonna put your face on a book.
I'm just gonna say more than that is that I'm sorry for your ex-wife.
Seriously, she's gonna track him down and then gonna cut, take his face and stitch it into a book.
Hey, well, and then you know what? And you know that can be written on the bottom because I saw there was stuff written on the back of what he had at him. It could also be written down saying product of. Oh, wait. He could also when he makes this book because there was stuff written on the back of what you showed us, Adam. It could say on the bottom product of Gorilla Glue.
It should. It actually should. My God.
Yeah. I gotta say though, what you got as far as Evil Dead 2, that's pure gold compared to what I have. I just have the basic Blu-ray.
Oh man, hold on. Hold on.
See, I tell you, Don, he's got everything. Oh boy, this is gonna be good. Let's see what he's got. Oh, I think it's what I think it is.
Oh wait, is it let's see it.
Be ready.
Now this was the Evil Dead 2 release. In
Yes.
the same Necronomicon box. It does not scream anymore when I push the eyeball.
I remember that.
Which sucks. But still super cool. Got the DVD in there. Got the Tom Sullivan pictures of Rotten. Where are we here? Hold on. Rotten Applehead, which he was affectionately known. And a lot of the other cool things. Don't have the Army of Darkness version of this, which I'm really bummed about one of these days. But I do have the original 2 and then, the other joint. So, all right. I'm doing all right.
Yeah. And I'm now that I think about it, I used to wonder when I first saw Evil Dead, if this Necronomicon, if it really is bound in human flesh and inked in blood, why would you even want to touch that thing?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
If I touch someone else's dead skin, I would feel nauseous. Just no.
I love Nick's comment. You better run, boy, if your ex-wife is watching this. You heard the man, Brad.
Yeah, you heard Brad. So, yeah, she's going after you, and like I said, your face. It'll be your face that ends up getting stitched into a book.
Oh, man. That is not good.
Oh yeah. I would throw up. Yep. So would I. Just the thought of touching rotted flesh. Oh man.
Oh my God, Brad, that would be a bestseller then. Oh my God, he knows how to get his way around.
This is killing me here.
Yeah.
So with Evil Dead 2, that's when it started to take a more comedic approach. So Ash is still stuck in the cabin. The sun just went down right as soon as it went up. So the Deadites are not done with him just yet. So they mess with his mind even further by bringing back Linda's body. So he has to go to fight him again. Whipping out the chainsaw. And oh man, the way they just do these, I'm thinking, man, these Deadites are brutal.
I love that scene, when she comes, after he decapitates her. When she comes back with the chainsaw and then knocks her, and then the chainsaw ricochets and goes back.
Oh, it's so ridiculous! It's so ridiculous.
It's so ridiculous, but it was
the Muppet where it's
it was ridiculous, but it was awesome to see all that blood, all that blood being sprayed.
But
oh my God, next. What if I wrote that book? You better run, boy.
Yep.
Well, there you go, Brett. Now we got a title for it. It'll be stitched up with Gorilla Glue, and it'll be a bestseller.
Oh boy, there it is.
I knew you were going to implement that somehow, Nick.
How much are they paying you, Nick?
Yeah, seriously.
As far as I know,
you might want to look into this.
Well, I mean, I already got a Gorilla Glue can already, so if that counts as being paid for it.
Nick, by the way, loved your Nosferatu costume.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Absolutely loved that. That was phenomenal, bro.
Yeah, that was great.
I had that on literally all day. I mean, and when I mean all day, I had to get up at 6:30 in the morning because I was going to be wearing it to work. So I had to get up, obviously get my shower, and then get all that makeup on. And I'm not even joking. I literally had that on. And Don, you remember what happened with? You probably wonder what Rochelle, her brother, and her friend showed up at my house around 11 o'clock. So fortunately, they only stayed for like 2 hours. So by the time they finally left, that makeup I had on, I had that on until 1 o'clock in the morning last night. From 6:30 a.m. to 1 a.m. He gets a new can of Gorilla Glue's hairspray every time he mentions them.
Yes. They send it right to your house.
Jeez.
And yeah, so yeah, like I was saying, Nick, with Evil Dead 2, that would, like, obviously they were going for a highly comedic approach. Like, they even managed to make decapitated Linda dancing look silly.
I'm sorry, no, I had to take my headphones off for a second. What was that we were saying?
I was saying that they make it right off the bat they were going for more comedic approach with Evil Dead 2, because like even they even managed to find a way to make Linda decapitated riding corpse of Linda dancing look silly.
I know that was it was like a ballerina. I was even thinking to myself.
And then she was like, ah, and disappeared into thin air. And I'm like, wait, they can do that? Wait,
I mean, what? I thought that was ridiculous. Like, really?
Oh, yeah. But the most ridiculous moment in my book was when he was like really losing his mind to the point where like he broke a chair when he was sitting on it, and then
and it's like
all the inanimate objects in the room.
All the inanimate objects, and then he's like, it's like you're thinking at first like he's kind of joining in because he does like that moving step, and then all of a sudden he starts laughing and he starts losing his mind.
I'll tell you what I loved after that was the shot where he literally like coming out of that, like he hears the movement at the front door and he just fires the shotgun, and it's Annie and like, the other people that are coming in on like the very thin subplot there, and they're like, man, and he's like, yeah. It was a very cool movie. The other shot I really liked is when Bruce Campbell's looking into the mirror and he's like, we're fine, and he reaches out from the mirror and is like, does this seem like we're fine?
Like, we just cut up our girlfriend. Does that seem fine?
But with the liquid as the mirror, just the way it was shot, I thought there were a lot of really, really amazing shots in the Evil Dead trilogy. The first three, I'm going to say, there were a lot of very amazing, just shots in all those movies, like creatively or what have you, like on the fly. They were great.
Oh yeah,
Go ahead, Doug.
Yeah. And I liked Ted Raimi, Sam Raimi's brother, when he played possessed Henry at
someone's in my fruit cellar.
I didn't realize that was him.
Fresh soul.
I swear your soul.
I didn't even realize that was him. I did not even know that was him until a couple of years ago. I'm like, what? That was Ted under all that?
I love when you watch the scenes of him swinging and you can see the breaks in the foam latex on the back of his legs. And it's like, oh, there you go. Yeah, it's oh, there you go. Or the stories of how, like, when they would take him out of the suit at the end of the day, like, the white sweat, like, talcum powder mix would just pour out of his, like, boots. Like, oh, man. Oh, boy.
Oh, man.
No thanks.
Gorilla Glue bottles, $20,000 to $40,000 grand a year. Just wait until the release of Gorilla Glue hair.
Yeah, you always got to joke on and on about that SNL.
I can never. No, it's not even. Well, no, not just that SNL skit. It's because there was a lady who did it, so I can never escape that. If the glue sticks, if the glue sticks, you got to be it.
Yeah, because I saw that skit. I just saw that skit, and I'm just like, man, who'd be stupid enough to do this in real life?
Hey, you know what?
No, that happened, bro.
You know what? One person once said about that. It's gonna say, imagine that you do something really dumb, and you have a skit made on SNL in your honor.
Oh my god! But so yeah, like they also one thing I noticed, like how they like completely changed the look of the Necronomicon in Evil Dead 2. Like it was like much more detailed. They look, like it was like so different from the first. And I will say this, even though they did show trees attacking a woman, they did not show. They actually, I just do like how they showed restraint. They cut out like anything, like before it happened. So
I think a lot of Evil Dead 2 was to appease the MPAA at the time, who was extraordinarily harsh on any horror film that was being put out. As a child of that time, and a huge horror fan, let's be honest, I'm the oldest guy in the room here. That was a big thing. And even admittedly, if you watch the commentary, a lot of it was to appease the MPAA.
Yeah, they would always usually they would always shoot a lot of these scenes, especially violent scenes, and typical like what you just said with horror films. There was always such movies like that had to be cut, including like obviously that tree scene along with additional scenes, because had they not cut them down, they would have had to either get an NC-17 or if they were still using an X rating. So they had to cut it down several times for the MPAA to give it an R rating.
Yes, definitely. Oh, yeah. And also, like we mentioned before, they had to change the color of the blood in some scenes, like the green blood when Ed, I think his name was Ed, was possessed and attacking the group. Yeah. Yeah, when he was like, dead by dawn, dead by dawn.
Dead by dawn.
You'll get your
and like he swallows the hair.
Yeah, I was like, what was that?
Like two said, yeah, dude, he was probably the most disturbing Deadite in any of them.
Yeah,
to be honest with you.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like, yeah. Oh man, and also, like, well, I was just amazed that they were able to get away with what was his name, Jake, who was trying to take control of everybody with a shotgun, and then it gets dragged down by Henrietta and like just the blood spray. I was amazed.
There was so much blood. There was so much blood.
It's like like I was like at that moment I was thinking, okay, I don't get it. They were trying to like change the color of the blood to green to avoid like any further ratings than R, to keep it an R rating. But look what they just did right here. They just sprayed a whole
30,000 gallons of it in like Kill Bill style, and it's all going to be hot pink.
It's like it makes you wonder. It's like, so you guys are saying, it's like, all right, so like if you were to go up to the MPAA and you basically said, so let me get this straight, it's okay to change the color of the blood, but it's not okay to show gore, but you got to change the color of the blood, but it's still okay to show it on camera, even though it's nothing but a different color. They actually did do something like that with another film. Well, this was also in the 80s, but several years later. And I'm sure you guys are going to know this film too. Is Puppet Master, the
never
first
heard
one.
Of it.
You never seen Puppet Master or heard of it?
I have all of them back there. Come on.
I was gonna say, wait a second.
Movies.
Movies. Yeah, he's got them too. But no, that was
done. I have your Freddy, the one with the spine that makes up Freddy, the DVDs. Hell yeah.
Oh, the DVD box set. Yeah.
Hell yeah, buddy. Awesome.
I got that back in LA. I bought it from a shop somewhere outside Hollywood.
I got mine like 17 years ago, bro. I don't even remember when. Yeah, I still got it back. It's buried, but I definitely have it right on, man.
Brad said
that's cool. That's cool.
Brad said he's seen those. Yeah, that's awesome. Brad said he's seen those Puppet Master. Wow, that's the first time where Brad has finally seen movies, because usually he never has seen a lot of these movies that we bring up. But no,
real quick, may I show something off real quick, please?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think you guys might appreciate this. Hold on.
Definitely.
Feel free.
when he comes back, I was gonna say in reference to Puppet Master when it came to blood effects, but I'll wait until he comes back.
Okay. Have y'all ever seen They Live with Rowdy Roddy Piper?
Oh
Yes.
my God,
Yes.
They Live.
Love it.
Oh, that is awesome. You have come here. That is the drink that you should be drinking. You should just be like, I have come here to chew bubble gum and kick ass.
And I'm
it's
all out of bubble gum.
That's one of my dad's all-time favorite movies.
That's like one of the best lines ever that he ever did.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And who would have guessed John Carpenter directed it?
I know. Well, Frank Armitage, which was a H.P. Lovecraft. Like, we're not going to get into this. This is about Evil Dead.
Yeah, we're focused on one franchise at a time here, guys. Let's start.
No. I was just gonna. Go ahead.
I was gonna say there will be a episode that covers that, but let's just leave it for that.
No, what I was just gonna say though was really quickly in regards to blood effects. Like I said, when I was gonna say briefly about Puppet Masters, if you remember the ending of the movie, like where, what was the guy's name that came back to life? I can't remember.
Andre Toulon.
No, it wasn't Andre. It wasn't Andre Toulon. It was the other guy who wanted to live forever. It was in the first movie, and
you're right.
I can't remember his name, but no, they were. If you remember, they when the puppets decided to take revenge on him after he hurt one of them, and like for example, when they started like torturing, they cut his fingers off. The blood was green, and I thought to myself, why was the blood green? I remember because I saw it when I was like 12, and again, it was only years ago I found out it was the same exact reason they did that with Evil Dead. Was
to circumvent the censors, yeah.
It was because of the MPAA. They're like, no, you can't. You can keep the scenes in, but you can't have the blood red. You got to turn it into a different color. So that's why the blood was green instead.
Yeah, no.
Neil Gallagher. That's who it was. Neil Gallagher. That's the guy's name. That's who it was.
So,
thank you.
Yep.
So he's back. Hey, Don.
Hey, so yeah, I had to go refill my drink. But anyway, so yeah, like they obviously they had to down the gore a bit on like Evil Dead 2, but a lot of the blood effects they were like I was wondering why they were so inconsistent at first, but then like they had to change it green. But I felt like all that blood spray from Jake, I felt like that kind of defeats the purpose. Yeah, like
exactly.
An awful lot of it.
A lot of it.
For sure.
Oh, yes. And then it showed like his skeletal remains at the bottom. I was like, when Ash went down there to like face Henrietta. And also the final fight scene between Henrietta and Ash and what was her name?
I know who you're talking about.
Annie.
Annie, that's right.
Yes.
Yeah, that final scene, like, and I especially love the moment where you just think of like Henrietta's dead, and until she's like, "Hey, I saw you so," points the shotgun. Swallow this.
Yeah,
and I love the act that comes out of Henrietta. Like,
that was funny. That was funny.
Yep. And then, of course, just when you think everything's over, a time portal opens up and takes him back into the medieval times to help all the all of these knights and soldiers fight against the Deadites. It's like
they first thought he was the enemy, and then they said, "Here to the man who's fallen from the sky."
It's great because they absolutely just show that. In the pages of the Necronomicon, and it literally shows Bruce Campbell with his chainsaw hand there being like the guy, and it's like, gee, I wonder who's going to be the hero of this one.
We forgot to mention that in Evil Dead 2. Forgot to mention this. The possessed hand.
Yes.
Yeah, where the Deadites possessed him, but his right hand, like it feels like that. Like, you ever seen the movie Idle Hands? That Seth.
Yes, I just watched that. That was on me and my brother's 31 for 31 list this year. Yeah,
I feel like seriously, I feel like they just watched Evil Dead 2 and like, oh yeah, we need to make a movie out of that.
I was thinking more like, no, they were probably just replicating Thing from the Addams Family.
One of my favorite like gags was when he cuts his hand off and he has another thing, and it's like he's cementing it down with the book A Farewell to Arms.
Oh yeah,
I'm like, that's a little on the nose, but right on.
That was a nice touch.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah, and like I just love how like even the hand was taunting him, like when when he ran out of shotgun shells, the hand was just like under the floor waiting, just doing this.
Yeah,
tapping the ground, and then just moves into the mousetrap, gets caught. Then Bruce laughed at it, and then it flips him off.
Well, I love also when he's like hunting it when it's behind the wall, and it like shows his ears perking, and he hits it, and then 30 streams of like high pressure blood just for whatever reason come flying at him through the wall. It's like, all right, sure, why not?
It turns black briefly when it goes back in. Then
it's great.
I'm like, it's so funny you're bringing this up, Adam, because like everything I'm thinking about, like what to bring up next, you're always one step ahead of me. That's awesome.
Oh yeah,
sorry.
And
I don't know, it's awesome.
So yeah, Ash versus Thing from Addams Family. That's what that was.
I would love to see that actually.
I wonder what the Addams family would say.
Hey, now you know the origin story for Thing.
That's true. That's true.
It was Bruce. It was Ash's hand. That's how they got Thing. Now it makes more sense now.
One of the things that always bothered me was when it went from the end of, because he was pretty much revered at the end of Evil Dead 2, and they're like, hail to thee who comes from the sky. They're like, hail. And Ash was like, nah, no, Mickey. But then in the beginning of Army of Darkness, he is a prisoner.
Yeah,
exactly. And they're just taking. I'm like, well, wait a minute. You guys were just pretty much. No.
Yeah, I didn't like how they were. That's one thing I didn't like about the Evil Dead trilogy, is that how they were always inconsistent, like when they switch in between films. Like,
yeah, and I get it because plot, but still, it's like, make it more a. Yeah,
it kind of didn't make it any sense.
I don't know. Yeah. It was a very harsh jump from like revered hero to Henry the Reds dude.
Yeah, I think that's like the.
Yeah, I think 1474 to 1486. What are you talking about, Nick? He's like, I have an ancestor who lived in the 14. What on?
I think he's trying to refer to like the 1400s, which like I think it's where Army of Darkness took place.
H3. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I
don't know. I have help.
Help. Are you okay?
I don't know.
Do you need someone to call the police for you, sir?
Or can we set up some Gorilla Glue to help him?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously. I mean, I don't know.
His hand has come to here's what happened. His hand got possessed, and he had to take it off. It's not possessed anymore. He's trying to Gorilla Glue it back on.
I'm not serious though. I have no idea what he's talking about. But yeah, I was going to say if he cut his hand off, can we Gorilla Glue his hand back on?
Well, they'd have to make up, I'm assuming, and that is not a reunited scene I would like to watch. Yes. We good? Yeah. All right. Prove it. All right.
Lines from the movie here.
Just move your hand. Just move your fingers. Like, how many fingers am I holding up?
He's saying lines from the movie. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Like, we hadn't heard them calling. Okay. Let's see. So yeah, Army of Darkness. Now that is where it's just total horror comedy. Yeah, like that's where they get. That's where we get all the slapstick.
I was going to say all the Three Stooges.
Yeah.
All the Three Stooges.
Totally. The one thing that sticks out as far as that film, and I'll never forget and will never get tired of seeing, is where he's holed up inside of a windmill and he shatters a mirror. Shatters the mirror of his when he's spooked by his reflection. And inside the mirror fragments, the reflections of him, mini me's of him, just come out and start messing with him.
It's ridiculous, but it was a really cool shot. You gotta admit,
yeah,
it was a really cool shot.
Yes. That scene never gets old to me.
You know what kills me is the one where evil Ash starts to grow out of him, and he's doing like they're doing the early '90s green screen, trying to match the eye lines, and it's so obvious that it's just not in the same frame. Like you can tell the green screen and stuff, and they're the eye lines are almost on point, but it's like, oh, bud, what are you doing?
I know.
I remember seeing a copy of Army of Darkness on the Sci-Fi Channel that would bleep out when he's like, "I'm good, Ash, and you're bad, Ash."
I remember that.
They bleeped out Ash on it.
Yeah,
because they thought
And
it
I
was
was
bad.
like, but yeah, exactly. And I'm like, no, that's wait, what?
I
No,
was like,
have you? Is this early YouTube? Have you not watched? Is there not a human watching this? Like, you guys gotta get it, but
it's TV was censored by robots.
yeah, robots. That's what it all boils down to. I'm with you, Don.
Yeah, well, mate. See, I didn't know that, so
That's right.
That's
We can't let the robots control that because we got to make sure they have as little control as possible. Otherwise, Skynet.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden the
We're
Terminator. Then all of a sudden the Terminators are sent to find a Sarah Connor.
Yep.
With them making
Run,
a
Sarah
remake of
Connor.
Evil Dead. With them making
I do hate to
remake
cut
of
this
Evil
short,
Dead.
gentlemen. I have to get up in 8 hours. So I thank you guys so much for having me on.
Oh,
no problem.
I very much appreciate it, Don. Thank you so much, Nick. Thank you so much. Thank you to everybody in the comments and everything. You guys are awesome. I appreciate the opportunity, and I look forward to talking with both of you very soon.
absolutely. It's
always
our pleasure, and we always enjoy having you on the show. Like I said, this is a show that whenever you want to come on, you're more than welcome to.
No, I very much appreciate you guys listening to a fucking fat guy rumble. So,
Well, and of course, usually I'm the one who invites you. So either way, it's awesome.
Then it's all Nick's fault then. But anyway, thank you, Don. Thank you, Don. Thank you, Nick. You guys have a nice evening. Okay.
You too,
You're welcome.
Don.
You too, man.
You too, Adam.
Appreciate it.
Bye,
guys.
Take care, Adam.
Bye.
Bizarro Ash. Yeah, he's awesome. Bizarro Ash and regular Ash.
Oh yeah, you know what he's referring to. There was a show on Adult Swim called C Lab 2021. There was an episode where all the characters had like a clone, and those evil clones are called Bizarro. Like there's a character named Stormy, and then it's like the clone is called Bizarro Stormy. Yeah,
I remember that show. I remember that.
Man, that was way back. That was like, dude, that show started back in early 2000s, man.
It was basically that one of the shows that kind of, obviously was parodying like the Hanna-Barbera cartoons from like the 60s and 70s. That was like when they started parodying those.
It was parodying C Lab 2020, a very short-lived Hanna-Barbera show.
I think it was like the 70s or early 80s that came out, I think.
And you should be, and it's also interesting to know that the guys who made C Lab 2021 are the same guys who made Archer.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. 30 years later, they make Archer. That's crazy.
Actually, it's more like 20 years.
Oh, okay. Maybe 25 years.
Actually, it started Archer started in 2009. So
okay, so about 20 years ago.
About 10 years later.
No, 20 years in between.
Right.
With them making a remake of Evil Dead, has there ever been talks of an Army of Darkness remake? I know before they made the 2013 remake / sequel, they were after they made it, they were talking originally about wanting to make, before they made the television series, they wanted to make an Army of Darkness 2, but it's changed so many times over the years that I don't know. I know other than what you showed me, I mean, I think as far as I know, as a remake of Army of Darkness, there's no plans, but I think they're going to want to get through this. What was that new one that's coming out, Don? What was that one called again?
Evil Dead Rise.
Evil Dead Rise. So probably after Evil Dead Rise,
we could talk then. Yeah. Evil Dead Rise comes out on, I think, middle, if not late April.
Okay.
Johnny Quest Parody 2 wasn't. Oh.
Yeah, it was C-Lab 2021.
Bizarro was a
fan.
Oh, okay. So he wasn't referring to that show.
Put in the Phantom Zone.
Phantom Zone. Oh, like Superman. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Don, I just wanted to let you know this too. Originally, I was hoping to have her on, but I actually at one point offered if Rochelle wanted to come on to the show for the first time. Unfortunately, she's unable to. She doesn't have a webcam, but I did tell her you could use your phone for this. She unfortunately she said she was about to get ready for bed, but I said, I told we'll be back on next week, so if you want to come on next week, you're more than welcome to. So yeah, she just said she wanted to tune in for a bit before she got ready for bed. So either way, it sounds like at some point Rochelle will be coming on to the show with us.
I got you. But yeah, Rochelle, I would love to have her on.
Yeah, I'm sure she's gone now, but it was awesome to see her on though. So,
Oh yeah.
I also showed her the 1-year anniversary video to her. Before Bizarro had a human form, he was actually a demon creature.
Let me look at this up here. Bizarro demon creature. Let me take a look.
Yeah, I don't really know what this Bizarro is. But anyways, yeah, while you're looking it up, I just want to say it's always
I think he's referred to the DC villain, Bizarro.
Okay.
Okay, it's a comic book villain. Okay. Oh, okay. Now all of a sense. That's why he mentioned Phantom Zone, because I was thinking, wait, Phantom Zone, that's Superman. So is this a Superman character? So yeah, that's why. Okay, yeah, that's the thing. I didn't read comics as a kid. I know that may shock some people, but I don't know. It just wasn't very popular in where I grew up. So
right.
Yeah. So a lot of I don't know all the comic book characters. Yeah, but I'm learning.
I just want to say really quickly, it's always awesome to have Adam on.
Oh yeah.
So I'm just glad. Now before I say more about Adam, now I got to bring this up. What Brad just said. Why does he keep Why does he keep talking about my ex with all this demon creature talk?
Oh my man, she is gonna come straight to you now.
All right, Don, let's get to publish. We're gonna get to the publishing board. Once that's all taken care of, when his ex-wife hunts Brad down, we're gonna get all that flesh. We're gonna Gorilla Glue it. We're gonna say sponsored by Gorilla Glue. Call it "You Better Run, Boy," and we'll give it delivered. It'll be a best published. It'll be a best publisher. We'll get a lot of bestseller. That's it. We'll get a bestseller. We'll make it a great award. Hey, you know what? We can make a lot of money. We can be rich as hell.
Yeah. Hey. Pulitzer Prize material.
And you know what I could say inside the book to it too is that saying to Brad's or if since it's Brad's flesh, we'll say the inside to my ex-wife. Oh God, no! God. Don't read it from it, or the cockroaches will haunt you instead of deadites.
You had to play that card.
God damn it!
It's okay. The new Necronomicon. It doesn't summon demons. It summons roaches.
Nick said he's writing that book right now.
Oh God, which can only mean one thing. Brad is. Yep, he's got it.
She's coming for you. You better run and hide.
Run and hide.
Just don't look back.
Nick Ulrich is writing on the first draft, I think. So yeah,
Yep, we're both. I got. You know what? Oh wait, I don't have it with me. I was gonna say I got pen and paper ready. Oh my God! Oh no, that's okay. My daughter will get his life insurance. Well,
how much further are we going to take this? Jesus.
Well, here's the thing, because like I said, I saw Brad. I got to meet his daughter at the Perry Unity event. Oh, yeah? She's great kid, smart kid. So if his daughter got all the life insurance, she'll be fine. she'll be just fine.
This is getting weird.
Run, boy! You better run as fast as you can. Oh my God!
So as far as Army of Darkness goes, we were talking about Good Ash and Evil Ash. And of course, like he's like still like he's silly when he fights Ash, like in the first, slapping him and also making hawk noises. And then Ash gets up, pulls out the shotgun, and shows he means business. He had like Deadites. He's the wrong person for Deadites to mess with.
You don't mess around with Ash.
Oh yeah, and also the cemetery scene where I should mention, I'm not sure if you knew about this, Nick. The scene where he has to like recite the words before picking up the Necronomicon, Klaatu Barata Nikto. That's actually a reference to the day the Earth stood still.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Classic sci-fi film, because Klaatu is the name of the big alien, that travels with the alien that we see in the film.
Yeah.
So Klaatu Barata Nikto is a reference to the day the Earth stood still. So
Interesting.
the more you know. Yeah.
I just remember Klaatu, Baratu.
Barata.
I always forgot that. Barata.
See, see, you didn't even pronounce Barata right. So I'm gonna. So if we have to go on a mission to get the Necronomicon, let me say the 3 words. you just proven you're unworthy.
It's been a couple of years since I've seen that movie. Nick has doomed us all.
Yes, the army of darkness is coming for us all, and it's all thanks to you, Nick.
I'd be fine joining the army of darkness. Nick, you better put your track shoes and run. The alien traveler. Nick,
yes, that's right.
From what?
What?
Just watching, waiting for evil Nick to appear. This is now becoming tempting because now I think I want to join the army of darkness.
Yep. Let's see. You don't have to wait for Evil Don to appear.
He's already here.
Oh, what have you done with the real Don then?
I was just using my Frank Welker voice, the one that he uses for I mean, that's the voice that he uses for several characters. Like he alters the voice a little bit for let's see, what was it? No, not Megatron. It was Soundwave from Transformers, and also used that voice for he used that voice for the Cave of Wonders in Aladdin, and also for Dr. Claw in Inspector Gadget. So yeah,
he uses this voice for all sorts of things.
Evil Nick will shave your head in your sleep.
Oh, Jesus.
You know what? I'm just going to say this right now because I can't believe I'm about to say this. I'm kind of glad Brad brought that up because that talk that we were saying about how I was dressed up as Nosferatu last night, when I dressed up like that for the first time, 3 nights ago, because I was at a Halloween party that I was invited to. When we put the ball cap on, obviously my hair was still sticking out. And it got to a point where I almost thought to myself saying, I may have to cut and possibly even shave my head for the ball cap to even fit or to have a bald appearance. So I almost thought about cutting and shaving my hair.
Well, if you could shave yourself bald, you wouldn't need the bald cap.
That's what I mean. I just thought, does it even matter? But even if I had to cut it, I would have had it really short so the bald cap could fit. But I almost did that.
Buzz cut your hair while you're asleep. Oh yeah, better not be me. No one is taking this.
Buzz cut while you're asleep. If you buzz cut while I'm asleep, I will wake up because you'll hear that. Yeah. Wait, let's see. I mean, just wait until next year, Nick. I'm making a whole costume around that mask. Oh, the mask that he brought to. Oh my God, Don! Did you ever see that mask that Brad had?
Don't think so.
See, if it's too bad, I think Brad. I think you're at work right now. I would have brought him on so we could show the mask. It's really cool. Like he did a great job with this mask, and you got it. He'll probably send you a picture of it through Messenger. You got to check it out.
Oh yeah,
he does. He did a great. He put that together. He did a great job with it.
I'll have to check it out. Yeah.
Oh, he just sent it to you.
Yeah. All right. Nice. So Nick, what was like your favorite comedic moment in Army of Darkness?
I love the whole movie, to be honest with you. It's just hilarious. But I think one of my favorite scenes was what you just brought up when he was trying to reference the words, but also when he saw that there were 3 books instead of Necronomicon books instead of 1. Wait, nobody told us about 3 books. And he didn't know which one he chose. The first one, he got sucked in. When he came back out, his jaw was like all the way down, which you could tell was a mask that he was wearing. And then the second one, I think it was like an actual book that was alive that was like fighting with him.
Fighting his hand and then
I'll get back to you.
But he never does get back to him.
He never does get back. I wanted to see the second fight. I wanted to see who was going to win.
Yeah. But he
But
probably
then
just
the
was
third one.
the book was just letting the skeletons that were rising up do all the work for him.
I'm going to be honest. Those scenes with the skeletons, to me, it looks like something that Tim Burton probably would have done. It had a very Tim Burton-like feel to it. Like, I'm thinking, I wonder did Tim Burton not get involved in this? Because I think he would have been great. So, and it was just a year or two before Nightmare Before Christmas came out. And so it's like, you kind of see there's kind of like a similarity between the animation, but with Army of Darkness, it has a very Tim Burton-like vibe to it.
I'll tell you why. Because he was too busy working on Batman Returns.
Yeah. Was he ever offered to be to work in Army of Darkness, or?
Not sure.
Because again, there's just go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say maybe he was approached for that, but he had other priorities. Yeah, because Tim Burton. You know how many projects he was working on during the 90s?
Oh my God.
Yeah,
a lot of projects. And I mean, and not only did he do that Batman film, he also was still working on Nightmare Before Christmas at that time. So he had 2 projects, but that would have been awesome because it just has that vibe. 2 favorite colors.
Yep, 2 favorite colors. I'm wearing one of them right now. Yep. So my 2 favorite colors are red and black.
Wasn't there another franchise that was supposed to tie in with the Evil Dead series through the book?
I don't think I've heard about that.
I thought I heard of something like that before, but you know what I think it was? I think it was like supposed to be like a comic strip series, and it was going to be like a crossover to kind of like pay homage to like Freddy versus Jason. I think it was going to be like Ash versus Jason versus Freddy or something like that. That might be what he's referring to.
Could be. It could be it. But like then where finally we like when the skeletons come back, and then Evil Ash comes back as like a horribly mutilated after that shotgun blast, and becomes the leader of the Army of Darkness. Go figure. So
it's just like, and I love how when one of the skeletons comes out and the other skeletons say to him, "Welcome back to the land of the living."
Yep. And I was saying things like, "Put your backbones into it."
They had such good jokes.
Oh yeah, I just love how when they first approach the castle and they get in and they discover Ash has trained all the soldiers. Yeah, like I love that montage where like they were preparing for the battle of the Army of Darkness. Yeah, like showing them how gunpowder works and like, and I like how when they opened the trunk there was like I think it was a bottle or a can of Coke or something that was inside of the trunk. So yeah. Yeah, so and Bizarro Ash versus regular Ash. Okay.
Nice. It was another movie Jeremy's saying. I don't know what that movie could be then.
Not sure. But the final battle, that was like seriously like insane. Like there were some comedic moments to it too, but overall I could never get tired of watching it. So like, and I love how they just turned like his yellow Oldsmobile into like a tank. That was like the one consistent. That was like the one consistent thing throughout the 3 films. You always had that yellow Oldsmobile, and that's a car they don't make anymore.
They don't. They really don't. But I also love like the entire time that they're fighting is like they always have to keep like are repeating because they're trying to protect the Necronomicon. They're like, we will fight. We must protect the book. But they didn't really, because eventually Evil Ash, there were 2 guards that were there at first, but then all of a sudden it's completely unguarded, and they were specifically ordered to stay with the book.
Yeah, like then they just disappeared. I'm like, what the hell's going on?
I mean, I know that they were fighting, but they were given specific orders to stay with the book, and they are not there anymore. And it doesn't even show if they're even dead or not, because if they were dead, their bodies would have been there.
Yeah, they could have at least showed impaled corpses there. So
yeah, well, they were sword fighting, so yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So, oh man, and then like I just love like how comical like even the death of Evil Ash was comical. Like the way he just catapulted him, and then right when he realized he's about to get launched, dude, like part of his skull pops up, like it makes a train noise, like
Cartoon sound effect. And then
more
also
cartoon.
too, before that too, they burned the corpse until he was nothing but a mere skeleton.
Yes, that's true. Yeah,
And then
and like
all the other skeletons flee. Retreat! Retreat!
let's get the hell out of here.
I love the accents.
Oh yeah, I love it. I just love the accents they all do. Oh man, but yeah, the Evil Dead trilogy. I think there's only a few months left before you can even call it a trilogy before the new one comes out,
Well,
which is supposed, which
sort
if,
of. Because don't
yeah,
forget
I mean,
the remake / sequel, because it's connected to the original trilogy.
yeah, I mean, yeah, some people are debating: is it a remake, a reboot, is it a sequel? You know, it's almost a decade later, and that's people are still debating that.
For years when they were trying to decide if they were going to make a television series or a movie, they actually were going to try to eventually make like a crossover from like the original trilogy and that remake to have both Ash and the girl, the chick from the remake, cross over and I guess fight together or something like that. I'm not entirely. I think it's some way. The way how I kind of pictured it is if both of them like cross paths, not only would they be fighting each other, but considering that Ash, has had more experience and he's obviously older than that girl is, I could almost see kind of like a father-daughter relationship between the two of them that they could have fought together. Consider they also both lost their hands and fighting Deadites, but that was one of their original plans. But obviously, it's now been almost 10 years. I don't think they're going to proceed with that, unfortunately, anymore. As much as I think fans wanted to see that happen.
Oh yeah. Oh, I should mention, I like from Evil Dead 2, where Ash was finally going to fight Henrietta, but needed to have a replacement for his missing right hand, so replaces it with customized, like completely engineers, like I'm the chainsaw to like I see attached to his where his hand used to be, use that to fight off the Deadites. I'm now convinced by the time I saw the third film that Ash has some sort of an engineering or was going to school for engineering.
That's what I was starting to think too, because he does a good job putting that together.
Does. And the way he builds a cybernetic hand, despite the fact that sort of technology we are still having a hard time perfecting today, and yet is still able to do so in medieval times.
In one alternative timeline, when they were trying to learn to use the gunpowder, some of the skeletons were dumb, and they tried it and they blew up.
Yeah. Yeah, that must be like an alternate scene. But wow. So I think we're gonna have to end this here. So yeah, Evil Dead. If you have not seen, those of you who have not seen Evil Dead, I highly recommend it. Like, truly terrifying and absolutely unforgettable experience in horror.
And hilarious. Don't forget, and hilarious too when you get to the later movies.
When you get to the sequels, yeah, because the first one didn't have that much humor. It was more terrifying than funny. And yeah, I can't say I find anything funny, especially with that one particular scene that I will not mention again. But
I'm sure we're probably going to talk about this movie again soon. I mean, we're sorry that Tom couldn't come on, but again, you can't control when someone's sick. But we'll have Tom on eventually, and hopefully when we have him on, by then we could talk. I mean, it's going to be a while, obviously, but we could talk, about Evil Dead then with him, because I know he is a hardcore fan, just as we are.
Yeah, maybe we could talk about the remake with him. Set up an episode for that. Yeah, and definitely, for when the new one comes out.
Yep. And for when the new one comes out, yeah, it'll be a few months then, so enough time will go by that to the point that we could talk about it again.
Oh yeah, definitely. So yeah, hope everybody enjoyed this video. But so glad to finally be back on here again. I've missed being on this podcast. Just want to keep it going.
And also, just before we get out of it, I just want to make some quick announcements. Tomorrow, obviously, I know I officially started last week, but we got another episode of Nick Files tomorrow night. It's going to be tomorrow night. Well, actually, it's going to be soon tomorrow night now that the days are getting shorter. So, but I'll still say it anyway. Tomorrow afternoon, We're going to continue on from what I was presenting last week, which was on the Granking Y'all. In spite that, even though Halloween's over, this is part 2 of the Halloween special, and it's actually a really good way to end it because since tomorrow is All Souls Day, and since it's the last official day of the Halloween season, this will definitely be a good finale for the Halloween season regarding my show. We're going to continue on with part 2 of the Granking Y'all Theater. If you guys haven't heard of it, so like movies like we talked about tonight with Evil Dead, seeing how gory they are. People often wonder, like where did a lot of this gory material begin with? The Grand Guignol Theater in Paris, France was basically the debut long before any of these movies, including Evil Dead, were made. We're talking well over 125 years ago. So, I mean, yes, if you want to check out part 1, which I did last week, so you guys can get a little more understanding, it's already available up on YouTube, but I will be doing part 2 in the conclusion tomorrow of the Halloween special. That will be for tomorrow. And then for Thursday on Supernatural Talk, we have Greg Coast. I always keep saying Greg Coast. Greg Cost, who's, interestingly enough, he's going to be the first guest on that show, in which the first local guest for me, because he lives in Chicago and who I've known for a couple of years. So we're going to be having him on Thursday night show at 7:00 Central Time. And that's pretty much it. So, yeah, definitely tune into the shows that are going to be coming up, next 2 days. Should be great. Of course, check out all the other shows on this network as always. For those that don't know, we just had our 1-year anniversary on this network. It was exactly a year ago. Definitely a great job. Mm-hmm. Looking forward to seeing how not only just how we're back in business, but looking forward to see how the next 12 months go. Don, of course, obviously you're one of the newer shows, so it's definitely great to have you on just in time for that 1-year anniversary. So we did it, everyone. Let's go for another year and see how it goes.
Oh, yes, definitely. Hell yeah. All right. Yep. So, thank you for tuning in, everybody, and we'll see you next week with another favorite horror film. So, have a good night, everyone. Stay safe.
Take care.
Bye.
I'll see some of you guys tomorrow. Take care.
Take care.